for tuning into AmysCrypt. I'm currently standing in the Shaniwar Wada Kila, which is an 18th century fort in Pune, India. And this place is insanely haunted, so let's go check it out. Just located a quiet little place where I can bring you guys just to tell you a bit of the very interesting history and ghost stories that go along with this fort. I do just want to apologize for all of the noise surrounding us, so you guys might hear a bit of traffic. So this fort itself is actually very, very old. It dates back to the 1730s when it was first constructed, and it's lasted for quite a long time, though most of it was destroyed about 100 years after it was built in a great fire. So a palace within the fort's walls were lost. So all that really remains today are a lot of the stone structures, so the walls surrounding the fort and a few stone structures within. This great fire also brings us to our first ghost stories. So unfortunately, when the fire did break out, a lot of people perished and lost their lives here within the fort. And many of the locals believe that they continue to haunt the area, so a lot of apparitions, disembodied voices, particularly people crying out in pain as though they are burning alive. This, however, is not the most famous ghost story of the fort. To understand our next ghost story and the most famous ghost story from this fort, we need to understand it with a bit of historical context. And it is closely tied into the family who ruled this place for quite some time. Basically, there was a big family feud over who should be ruling this place, and this all kind of caused a lot of turmoil after the king died. He passed on rulership to his sons, and this kind of angered the king's brother. This created more of a rivalry, and then when a few more of the sons died, rulership was passed on to the younger son, who was just 16 years old, Narayan Rao. Now, I'm probably slaughtering that name, I'm trying my best, but Narayan Rao was only 16 years old, so the uncle actually assumed temporary rulership until he became of age and could rule himself. This kind of angered him even more, and it also angered his wife. So Narayan Rao had his uncle and his auntie against him. There's a lot more family conflict to describe in the story, but basically it ends up with Narayan Rao's uncle and auntie conspiring to have him assassinated. And a group of assassins broke into the fort one day and slaughtered him while he was asleep in his chambers. Now, the story goes that his murder was a very brutal one, and he was hacked and torn to pieces. And during this process, he was crying out for his uncle, who was there watching, to save him. This leads us into the most commonly reported and famed paranormal occurrences to happen here at the fort. And that is people claiming to hear a voice yelling out saying, "Uncle, save me." Now, this is people believing that it's Narayan Rao yelling out for help. And he's obviously yelling out in his native language, and it's quite sad and heartbreaking to know. And generally people are hearing this from the exterior of the fort's walls. The next part of this ghost story is even more disturbing and by far more gruesome. So after this young man was murdered, his body was cut up into little pieces, and then the dismembered parts of his body were thrown into the very nearby river. And this totally goes against all Hindi customs and traditions that are related to death. And because this young man didn't receive these proper burial rites, many believe that that is why his ghost continues to haunt this fort, but also the area near the river where his body was improperly disposed of. In a very similar nature to the hauntings of this fort, many people have also claimed to see this young man's apparition walking the banks of the river, and they also hear very similar cries for help to his uncle coming from that area too. It's freaking freezing in here.
It's cold?
Yeah, this must be the stone.
Let me come down. Whoa, it is cold in here.
It is, hey?
Yeah. Ow.
I don't think that's paranormal. We're a little bit underground and there's a lot of stone. It's right here, it's really cold.
Yeah, it is.
It's refreshing.
It's actually quite warm today.
Yeah, it is pretty hot. Okay, we are currently on the top of the fortified walls that surround the entire fort. It's quite a bit noisier because we've got all the traffic sort of below us. But what's really cool about getting this bird's eye view of this area inside is seeing all that remains. So all of the ruins and all the stone foundations that survived the Great Fire. This is a cool area. Actually, the sound acoustics are cool as well. For my voice anyway, not like the traffic.
Yeah, the traffic sounds really good up here, Ames.
You can see these like defensive slots going down. At the very top of the fort now, we have a beautiful view of the grounds inside, and then we also have a bit of a view of the street out, and we're going to just explore the area a bit. I don't know what's in here, if it's a room or something, if you can get in. Don't look like. Yeah.
Don't go to the edge.
So you can kind of see where we were walking around the perimeter here, and then the rest of the view just out behind me. I think it's symmetrical up here, so we'll try this side.
Symmetrically locked.
Not a chance. Oh, I can see a cardboard box.
What are these? A storage closet.
Actually, I think there's a staircase.
Staircase in that one?
Alright, can you get down there?
No.
Just go on. I think there's a little. Is there an opening at the bottom?
No.
Is there?
No.
Oh, sorry, that was a waste of your time. Alright, so there's a family tree here of the Peshwas, which are like the royal people. Trying to look for our ghost guy.
What's his name?
I can't. Oh, here he is. Narayan Rao. Oh, don't tread on that mud, Jared.
Narayan Rao. Oh yeah, Gangabai?
Yeah,
That's our ghost?
that's our ghost.
Ah, so some of it must be true. A little bit of truth to the story.
Well, he was a real dude and he was killed here. According to the history that I know, hopefully it's like a correct thing and not just fabricated for the ghost stories, you know. If you do know about that, please do let me know in the comments below though. I'm getting a sweat mustache. It's really hot out here. Lovely Indian winter. And how are you feeling, Jared? How are you?
I'm dry as a... I won't finish that
Don't
sentence.
say it.
I'm very thirsty.
Yeah, and why is that?
Because Amy forgot the bottled water and they won't let us out to buy one and let us back
we
in.
can't pay twice. You forgot the water.
You did.
You're a prick. You totally forgot it. Jared has the backpack. I told him this morning, put the water in there.
I'm so thirsty. So thirsty.
Let's go check out, we seen a big well looking thing. It looks real deep from the top of the perimeter wall. There's also some weird gates and stuff, so. It's pretty deep.
Wow.
Don't fall in. There's so many closed off sections.
Is that even locked?
Yeah. There's always so many places we want to explore in these places, but since this one is a tourist attraction, I guess safety and all that, they close off certain parts. We're just so happy to be exploring somewhere here in India though. We had a lot of trouble in Mumbai actually getting access to places like at all. We just couldn't even get in anywhere. We got kicked out of a hotel even, and I don't know. There was all sorts of difficulties there, but this is just cool to be exploring again. I really love to think about and picture what this all would have looked like back in the day, and whether this was where the palace stood or what these buildings looked like, because there's really not a lot left of them. It's just the foundations that you see us walking around on.
Hey Ames, another Duma speech incident?
Looks like.
No, thank you.
Oh my god, Jared. It's coming at me! Can you see these things? What are they? They're like ferret weasels, rats with long bodies. Oh my gosh, what is... Oh, wow! What is that? It looks like it has feathers. Does it not?
Yeah.
Oh my god, look at its legs move. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna call it a rat snake. A feathered rat snake. But if you guys actually know what that is, please drop me a comment. Oh, I love them. I've never seen this animal before, ever. Not even on television or something.
Do you reckon this is how people react when they see kangaroos?
Or like a koala or something.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh.
Wow! They're so slinky.
Slinky like a cat. Maybe even slinkier.
Dude, I bet they bite though. That is crazy. I've never seen one of those animals before. I have no idea what they are. I love them though. Oh, it's in the bush. Hello. Oh my god. Oh, it's gonna jump. If this thing attacks me, at least that will make good footage, right? Oh my god!
Do they eat birds?
I don't know, but I'm more scared of the f***ing birds than I am. Now everyone's looking at me. My scream, I don't know if the camera picks that up, but it echoed in here and I think everyone's already staring at us because we're the tourists, and again, we're getting lots of selfies. India loves a good selfie. But yeah, now everyone's just watching me like I'm a freak.
Made me forget about my thirst for a while, but now it's back. So thirsty.
Oh, come on, you baby. And now all of the eagles are like circling right above us too. So apparently where I'm standing right now was once the area that the murderous uncle lived. So that's interesting. What do you think this was? Like his bathtub or something?
I don't know, all the houses seem to have like these little pits, don't they?
Yeah.
Looks like it's got plumbing.
Yeah, I don't know if it's also got this. I don't know if water kind of was a big part of the palace and just flowed everywhere. It's what it seems like, though. I mean, I know all about architecture and stuff. I'll check that out, Jared.
That's where the water came from, and that is pretty deep. That's deeper than the other well we've seen.
Is it?
I'd say that's 20 to 30 meters deep. There's still water in it.
I can't actually see.
No, don't step on that either, I don't trust it. So that must feed into the dead man's bathtub. Was he a large man?
I don't know.
That's a lot of water.
The ghost story didn't describe his size.
A large man would need less water, right?
Well, he would just clog up that hole, I guess, yeah. Just behind me is one of the many gates that enters into the fort here. And this one isn't as significant as the one out the front, which is known as the Delhi Gate. And I just wanted to highlight something cool that I learned about this gate that kind of, sickened but interested me was there's these massive metal spikes on the front of this gate. And they were actually used or placed there strategically. So when the fort would come under attack and enemies would bring elephants to kind of try to bash in that door, all the spikes were at the level where the elephant's head would have to bash. So that's why they're actually there. But it's just a creepy thing, and I don't know, this door looks creepy. It isn't the Delhi Gate, but these almost look like, whether they're just bent over nails, I don't know, but they look like spikes that have been bent back in.
These would be the back of the spikes, and then that would have deterred the elephant rams.
Look at this, and this. It looks cool. All right, we're just leaving, and I'm going to show you the front of the Delhi Gate. Now these are those spikes I was telling you about, and they're bloody extreme spikes, right? Essentially screaming out what the ghost is said to scream out. So we're getting kicked out now, guys. I don't know, they're bloody horrible to look at. we kind of want to get out of. But this is where his body was improperly disposed of. We don't belong here though. It's probably just my paranoid mind thinking someone's going to attack me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit subscribe because I have a part 2 video coming later where we come out at night and explore the legends of hauntings in this area. If you did enjoy this video though, please remember to like, comment and share. If you guys are after a bit more reading on haunted places, head to amyscrypt.com. Until next time.